So it's been a hell of a year, huh?
Yeah, it's been such a year, and I can't believe 2025 is already over. Wait, how much more of this do we have to do?
Captain, it's only February.
Yeah, I know, hell of a year, right?
Yeah. Welcome back, folks, to the Off the Balcony podcast. We are coming to you live. As of recording, it is February 8th, 2025.
Coming to you live as of recording.
Yeah. February 2025. And yeah, we're not lying, folks. It's been a hell of a year. It's a year with ups and downs for us, but holy shit, the world just feels like it's, between the fires in Los Angeles.
It feels like the world wants us dead.
Yeah.
Yes, ups and downs with the 3 plane crashes this year already.
Right. From the plane crashes.
At least 3.
Yeah.
From the plane crashes to the Los Angeles fire to the worst movie ever getting like 50 Oscar nominations to now Kanye having lost his goddamn mind.
At least we have Kendrick.
We do have Kendrick, and we do have the Bowl to look
Please
forward
to. Please don't get this channel sued by Drake.
Right, yeah. Then we'll have to deal with him. But
Yeah, but hey, if he loses on that summary dismissal, we get money.
Right, yeah. So yeah, why don't we just take it from the top? We attended a convention, not a big one, but
It's one of those little mall cons.
yeah, the convention circuit. Just for the record, we're not sponsored by them, by the way. Is called QuadCon. They're basically what they do is they'll go to local shopping centers or
Around the Midwest.
around the Midwest.
Yeah, I think this weekend they're having one in Cedar Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week they're going to have one in Peoria that we're going to go to.
Yeah, but the one that we went to last weekend was in Champaign, Illinois. And had a great time there. Loved walking around.
Wade found the finds of the century for him.
Oh yeah, so we're thumbing through one of those. It's kind of the first booth that you come in, and it's got like it's kind of like arranged that it's like a bunch of long tables that has comic books. They've got records. We spent a lot of time thumbing through the records.
Yes, they had like Japanese releases of the Beatles and Zeppelin and stuff.
Yeah, they had Surrealistic Pillow by Jefferson Airplane in there, which I was like, fuck, I wish I had a vinyl player so I could just have this stuff. Have you guys thought about getting a vinyl player?
Yeah. I need to test out my CD players. Like, I know Sarah's dad gave me a CD player that I still haven't tested it out, and I have so many Love Live CDs. I should actually try listening to them sometime.
Right, and the guys that you bought those Love Live CDs were there this weekend.
Yeah.
Remember? Like how you guys were, you and Steven were like looking through the different B-sides, and I think they had a few EPs in there.
Yeah, well, they had a bunch of the subunit singles.
Right. Hey, since you two are more the musically inclined people in here, I was wondering if you could answer me. So, what is the difference between a B-side and an EP?
EP is this is as far as I understand it.
It means extended play, where there's usually like around 5 or so songs on it, and like they're all like supposed to be like on the same level.
And then B side is just like the second.
Like how there's one side of the record and the
Sure.
B side of it too. So those first singles, like the A side was like the big song that was supposed to be for the radio and stuff, and I think the B side is kind of like a little bonus song that comes with it.
Right, because I was watching a live stream the other day about Oasis B-sides, and it's like, I love the idea, like, there's a single, and then you get, like, a bunch of little extra songs to go along with it. They were kind of lamenting the fact that after around, like, 2000, 2002, they've never did another B-side that had, like, the 4 full tracks on it. It was always, like, Oasis B-sides ended up being like the main single, and then they just slap on some like a live song that they did at like Nebworth or Glastonbury or something.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays if people even do B-sides at all, it's always like a live version or a remix.
Yeah.
So I know there have been cases before in like the 80s and stuff where like a song was like the radio station accidentally played the B-side, and then people kept requesting the B-side so much that it became a hit.
Right, yeah. But
The B-side that could.
yeah, but Steven over here took a picture of what's probably going to be the thumbnail of this podcast episode. I'll explain what my legendary poll was, but Steven, why don't you explain what your legendary poll was?
Did I have one? Oh, yeah. So one of the booths has Pokemon figurines, and two of them are the very muscular Squirtle from the Squirtle Squad, and the very muscular Pikachu.
Oh, it was so funny when we were like, what the fuck is that?
Where are those cards I bought go?
Oh, yeah, they're in there.
Okay.
Oh, she's just looking for her QuadCon poll, folks. But anyway, I'll explain what mine was. So I'm a big old comic book, old literature kind of fan. Not like Pride and Prejudice or anything, but like the old science fiction stories from like the 30s and 40s. I love that kind of shit. Like Isaac Asimov, Robert Heinlein, kind of not even like the major works that they were known for, but like the cheap pulp fiction. That's literally what they're called because of the cheap butcher paper that they would write these stories on. Well, guess what? At QuadCon, at that first booth before we got sidetracked onto records and stuff, we're thumbing through the old comic books, and I find this book that has that's one of those old pulp fiction collections. It was from 1942. It had a bunch of short science fiction stories in it, science fiction, adventure, fantasy stories in it, and I got it for like $30, maybe not even that.
I think it was like 25.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap, and it was an antique. It is an antique. It's 80 years old, and inside there's some pretty epic stories from the Pulp Fiction era. So yeah, that's by far the coolest thing that I've found at a QuadCon. But Hannah, if you want to share your, we're doing show and tell now, but your cool QuadCon pull.
Yeah, I didn't really buy that much from there since I didn't really have that much money, but there's one guy that's usually there that has a booth full of anime stuff, and usually what I do is he has a box full of cards from Goddess Story and Weiss Schwartz and other stuff, so I just go through that little box and just pull out characters that I know.
Right, yeah.
Just use them as my Magic the Gathering token cards.
And what did you grab?
So, well, he didn't have the box full of random cards this time, so in order to have characters that I knew, I bought a pack of Vocaloid cards, which they didn't really have a name of a game or anything on it, just said Hatsune Miku cards, so I bought a pack of those, and from a different TCG booth, I bought a pack of Weiss Schwartz Rayview Starlight cards. So I finally have Rayview Starlight merch.
Right, yeah, that's the first merch you've ever bought of Rayview Starlight.
Yeah. So from the Vocaloid cards, I managed to pull 3 cards of my Oshi Mako. Got a card that looks like her in a Christmas outfit, and then 2 cards of Project Sekai outfits, like her usual default red outfit and the Street Sekai outfit, and then 2 cards of Miku. One looks like a snow Miku, and the other has a kimono Japanese Miku under one of those straw umbrellas.
Okay.
And my Rayview Starlight cards, I have a really glittery one of Juna that looks like she's in a Robin Hood type outfit. I'm really happy I pulled 2 Juna cards because Juna's my favorite of Rayview Starlight. And then one of her trying on glasses.
Okay.
And I have one of Karin and Mahiru cuddling.
Oh, here, let me see. Oh, right.
And then the rest of them are from the mobile game, which rip to that mobile game, but also I didn't really play it much even while it was active because I got stuck on a fight and didn't have enough of the currency to pull on the gacha to get better cards, so I just quit.
Well, looks like you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah. So I have one of Misora and Tsukasa, Shiori, and a I think her name's Akira. One of Yachio. One of Tamao Tomoe, which is a character I have heard of before because I know she's voiced by Tomori Kusunoki.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that at the convention.
Yeah. One of Ichie and Yuyuko. Then one of Mei Fan Liu.
Oh, cool. Oh, is she like a Chinese character or something?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, the anime merch was actually pretty good, as usual. The thing is, that one guy who was selling, like, all the figurines, it seemed like he really consolidated into the Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen and Hero Aka stuff, because we barely saw any of the not that we don't like those shows, but it's like any of the non-stuff that we tend to look for. Like, he only had, like, one Bochi that we saw, and...
Oh, yeah. I would have bought that Bochi figure if it was priced a little bit lower, because there's, like, $35 for... There's that one prize figure of Bochi doing her little peace sign pose.
Right, yeah.
She looks so scared.
Yeah, yeah. And, we did see... Of course, they had the what's the politically correct name for those body pillows?
Oh, I think Daki's.
Dakimakura? Yeah, Dakimak. Well, I just said body. They had body pillows of... Steven corrected me on who... I'll say what I said. The rabbit girl from Hero Aka.
Ah, yes, Miriko, everyone's new favorite Rule 34 target.
I feel so bad for all the girls that cosplay her in the winter, just having their full ass out.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people don't even change. Some people just keep their ass out all day.
Yeah.
Also in that body pillow booth, Steven pointed out to me there was one of Frankie from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Oh,
it was hidden deep in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had covers there. Like, there was one for Comey from Comey Can't Communicate. There was, I think, a few...
Yeah, I know there was a Miku one that was different from the Miku I bought from them at Peoria last year.
Right, yeah. Speaking of which, at QuadCon, Hannah got props on her newly debuted costume.
Futaba from Bunny Girl Sentai.
Yeah, you got props.
And I had one girl at a booth ask me if I was dressed from Steins Gate.
I can understand why they would. If you've ever seen...
And if I just put on a pair of pants instead of a skirt, then it would be Kurisu.
Yeah, exactly. So I get why they asked her that. And my girlfriend, Heather, got recognized in her cosplay when she went as Shaak Ti from Star Wars. And this little girl was just geeking out over seeing Shaak Ti. And Heather really thought it was cool. We all thought it was adorable, of course. But the funny thing is, she tends to dress as Shaak Ti. Have you ever seen the character Shaak Ti? She looks a lot like the more popular character Ahsoka from Star Wars. And so she gets recognized as Ahsoka. I mean, hell, she got recognized as Ahsoka at that convention.
3 different times.
3 different times. But that little 7-year-old girl was the only one to get it right. So, good for her, I guess.
No, the same 7-year-old did ask who she was. So...
Yeah, that girl did ask, what are you dressed as? Oh, Shaak Ti. Mom, it's Shaak Ti!
Well, at least she knew who Shaak Ti was.
Yeah.
It seems like Shaak Ti is a forgotten character anymore. But, which is funny because she has one of the most interesting origin stories of, like, character lore in terms of, like, they shot 3 different death scenes for her. And it's like a running inside joke in Star Wars content ever since. But, yeah, that's kind of where... That's kind of where it's at. Anyway, I'm glad that Heather got recognized for her cosplay. It was really cute, really fun, and QuadCon's always a fun time. It's why
whenever a QuadCon happens near our area, we will always go.
Yeah, we just
as long as we have nothing else going on that weekend.
Yeah, we just pile in the car and go. Because there's no stakes. It doesn't cost anything to get in. You might see something that you like. You might just see some interesting stuff that. It's a good way to kill a couple of hours. You know what I mean?
No harm in going.
Yeah, exactly. And but usually you will walk away with something. I'm not even going to lie. And sometimes, just sometimes, you might find a legendary pull. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. Have you actually read through some of that book, or are you just
Yeah.
keeping it wrapped?
No. I'm not one of those kinds of guys. No, look, I've been around the way. I'm leaving with something.
If there's a document, I am reading it.
Yes, exactly. And I read through it. It's interesting to see what people thought were like, because like old school science fiction is a lot more kind of blatant, I want to say.
In the year 2000, we'll have flying cars.
Yes, exactly. It's that kind of stuff. In the distant.
Speaking of that, I need to update my Lost Media panel before the next cons.
All right.
I know there's one topic that got found last year where there was this, like, there's a PBS documentary just speculating what life will be like in 2025.
Oh dear. Oh, that'd be hilarious. And topical, obviously. Actually, real quick, Lost Media tangent.
Yeah.
So you guys know that I'm working with like silent films from the.
Oh, yeah, that's what your grad thesis is.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Someone actually found one of those films.
Ooh.
They found it in an old film collection. It's a film called The Heart of Lincoln.
Was this recent?
This happened like a week ago.
Damn.
Yeah, they found it in collection. And immediately, like, the Eastman, the George Eastman Museum in Rochester, New York, immediately said, fuck it, blank check, just give. We'll pay out the ass for it. We don't care. Because the George Eastman Museum is big in collecting those kinds of artifacts. So, and they have, like, very rich donors and everything who want to keep this kind of public culture alive, so they immediately like, look, just give us and we'll hammer out the details later. So it was pretty much an immediate transfer. But yeah, that just happened. And here's the thing, I've actually gained a lot more, not that I didn't have respect before, but I have gained a ton more respect for the people who dedicate their lives to not necessarily their lives, but spend a lot of their free time looking for lost media, because I'm doing this with like the backing of like academics and stuff. I mean, I'm not getting like an archaeological fund or anything, but you know, I'm getting like advice, I'm getting like guidance on how to do. Lost Media sleuths, they're just out there doing this on the internet. They're going through like old VHS like buckets that you find at estate sales and hoping one of them has this lost commercial or episode of, I don't know, fucking Thundercats or something on it.
I know whenever I do my Lost Media panel at cons, there are always people coming up to me after the show. It's like talking about what searches they've been part of and asking which ones I've been a part of. Like, I haven't actually been in any searches. I just like watching YouTube videos about Lost Media and then just decided I should make a panel about it.
The funny thing about the Lost Media community that I've noticed is that a lot of the video essays will have this like super dark tone to it, and then it'll just be about the episode where like Squidward got set on fire by a bucket of gasoline. It's like the reason that got pulled was because of the 9/11 attacks. Yeah. That episode aired around the same time.
They didn't want kids replicating that.
Yeah, and they didn't want kids replicating it. Oh yeah, the 9/11 episode. That was where the two fish flew into the sky and hit that Zeppelin. That was the air date on that. You're not gonna believe it. September 7th, 2001.
Literally like a week before.
Yeah. So I mean, I personally love Lost Media too. It's just, I'm also kind of jealous of the guys who do Lost Media searches more in the area that Hannah is interested in, because the media is still hard to find, don't get me wrong, but at least there's a chance of it existing because it's on VHS tapes. When you're looking for lost silent film, good fucking luck, because that shit rots.
Yeah.
That shit rots.
Have to be looking in Iceland or something.
Yeah.
Just hoping it's stored in somebody's basement.
Yeah, or is in very cold temperatures. Well, that's how they found
the Joan of Arc.
The Joan of Arc one, because it was in a basement in
An
Norway.
asylum in Norway.
Yeah, Norway. So it was in the proper temperature to keep the film cold. So you don't really have to worry about that with VHS. I mean, I know it degrades over time, but like I have a VHS from like 1985 that looks almost indistinguishable from how it looked when I bought it. back in like 2012, and it probably looked that way for a while. So, no harm, no foul. But yeah, that's what QuadCon was kind of like for us.
I just realized right behind you I have my acoustic bass, so I put all my con stickers on now, and I remembered my other QuadCon purchase was, there's one booth that had like a bunch of bootleggy stickers there, which there's buy two for $1.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And they had one specifically in Vocaloids, so
all right. Hey!
Got one of Miku and Nagato from Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh, yeah.
Hugging.
Yeah, we saw that, and we're like, wait, is this part of a... I even asked Steven, I was like, did Haruhi Suzumiya ever do a promo with Hatsune Miku?
I was too late to the fandom for that point, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably just ripped somebody's fan art from online, just put it on a sticker, but hey, if it's 50 cents, I'll take it.
Isn't there like a name for like when two characters that don't usually get like shipped together end up like...
Oh yeah, crack ship.
Yeah, I guess that's what that would be an example of. But also, you got the forest spirits from Princess Mononoke.
I think that's one Heather bought for me last year.
Oh, cool.
And then the other one I bought at QuadCon was one of a Vocaloid that I never see merch for, called Mayu, where she has like Gothic Lolita style design, but I think the only song that ever got popular with her was like a Yandere song.
Right.
But yeah, I just bought that sticker of her because I never see merch for her.
Okay, well, there you go. And yeah, folks, I only bought one thing from QuadCon, but believe me, it was worth every cent, so I'm set. So,
Didn't you also buy an old comic book, or weren't you just...
Oh yeah, I bought like a Sergeant Rock comic from DC, and I also bought an Oasis sticker, like their old, not the logo from the 90s, the one that they had for when they did Standing on the Shoulder of Giants and Heaving Chemistry. So,
nice.
I mean, it's a very like kind of snapshot logo from that era of Oasis. And so, yeah, I wasn't not going to buy it. So, yeah, it was terrific.
Nice.
But, so yeah, those were our QuadCon adventures. I'm going to turn it... Oh, go ahead.
Saying in terms of cons, we're just waiting for UICon and AMKey to drop their schedules.
Right. Yeah,
I don't want to solidify a cosplay lineup until I know when we're going on for stuff to get costume changes.
Right. Before we do our usual anime roundup, I'm going to turn things over to Steven and let him go through any announcements or housekeeping that need to be addressed before we get into the real the nitty-gritty of anime that we've watched.
Well, first in world events, I regret to inform you all that Kanye is being Kanye again.
Oh,
yeah.
Tyler, the Creator, followed him, and all Kanye had to say was "gay."
Unfollowed him, but yeah.
Yeah.
But Kanye is now doing another quote-unquote social experiment, so I'm just suspecting he's off his meds. Next, we have a link tree now, which is going to be the only link that we're going to have from here on out in our descriptions. So it should make it a lot easier to access everything. And the next time we get business cards printed out, we'll have the QR code just go to the link tree, so it'll be a lot easier. That way I don't have to keep repeating almost everything. I also want to apologize for the past 2 years. I've had everyone try to donate to the card fund, not realizing GoFundMe shut it down after a while, mainly because I never had any activity on it. So,
oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, it would have been great if they sent me an email telling me that they would do that, but they didn't. So, I'll figure something out. However, but yeah, just look at the link tree. Also, we are going to open up a Teespring the weekend of UICon once we decide what type of merch we want to put on there. And we're also going to get a Redbubble up, but we need 2 more designs. I know we have one artist in waiting, but waiting for us to get funds to commission one thing.
I do have one design I'm considering commissioning for, but if there are any other things you guys can think of that you'd want on a shirt, if something funny we've said before.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
If you want to make shirts out of stuff I've said in the past, or stuff that any of us have said in the past, go for it. I mean, they're just words, but
Yeah, I know we've said some words of wisdom in the past.
Oh, yeah. Or closest approximation of words. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So, Redbubble's still a work in progress. We'll get that up as soon as we get 5 designs for it. But Teespring should be up sooner, and then I'll get... And the best thing about having Linktree is that I can just activate links on there. Because I have it on there as a link itself. I just don't have it activated yet. Excuse me. So we should have that up pretty soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but maybe after March we'll get that up and running. Other than that, if you guys have any other topics you want to send to us, or I'm gonna just drop this on Wade now. If you guys want to send con stories to us, feel free to send it to our email. Again, it's gonna be in the link tree, but it's offthebalcony21@gmail.com. So that way, we've blabbed about con stories for 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to have share your experiences with us, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, or stuff that happened like simultaneously. Like if we were at a convention you were at, you saw us, but you went to like your stuff happened separately than us. Still tell us about it, or just tell us about any convention story. We're all ears. I mean, we'd like to know like what the public reaction to us is. I mean, we have a fairly decent idea, which is
drunks.
Yeah, but other than that, we've all we've had a lot of fun, just chilling with you guys. We want to hear what you guys think. What we're doing right, what we're doing wrong.
Also, if anyone has any stories from the CAD and/or Midwest 2024 Cuddle Puddles, please send them my way.
Yeah, we want to know the.
Oh, we're gonna do.
Want to know the horror stories?
We're gonna do a full fucking Dateline NBC episode on that shit.
As soon as I get my StreamYard reactivated, I swear to God, get StreamYard reactivated and a new laptop. I swear to God, I will go live and read those.
Oh, nice. Oh, unless you want to do, I'll give Steven a break real quick. I will say that if you want to come see us. March is going to be a big month for you because from March 1st to 2nd, we will be in Champaign, Illinois for the return of UICon, which is at Illinois...
University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana?
Yeah, University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. We had a great time there last year.
Last year was their first time ever running UICon, and it was one of our highlights of the year. Best cons we've ever been to.
Never would have known it was their first because they were just so professional and so good, and the staff were just excellent. I need to stop myself, or I'm going to just start gushing about this convention. Yeah. I can't wait to go back. We got a full boat of panels. We're going to, bring our usual crazy energy.
Yeah, even debuting a new panel that we still need to actually start working
on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look. We're gonna bring the heat. Don't you worry. We're gonna bring the heat. And
I know today they just extended the panel submission deadline, and I'm trying to stop myself from saying we should submit more. Like, no, we need to restrain ourselves.
Remember,
let other people.
This isn't a 3-day. I mean, we're already packing the schedule of a 3-day convention into 2 days.
I think we submitted 7 panels? 8 panels plus a cosplay meetup.
Yeah, we're gonna work our asses off that week. But it's like obviously it doesn't feel like work. This is fun as fuck. So
yeah, I love hosting panels.
Yeah, love hosting panels. The cosplay meetup last year was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's the Love Live one again.
Yeah,
same one I hosted last year. I am bringing it back.
Yeah,
gotta keep Love Live alive.
Well, I mean, we had quite the audience for both our Love Live events that year.
Are you gonna make a sign again?
Yeah, I can make a sign again.
Yeah. Or take the one from last year, just scribble out 2024.
Yeah, I might honestly do that. UICon is where we debuted the whole Stars at Night thing with
Big and bright,
deep in the heart of Texas.
For the worldwide poster girl Murray.
Yeah, where all the Love Live girls are dressed in like these
for different countries, and Murray is just in Texas cowgirl gear.
Yeah, it's not even America. It's just Texas at that point.
Yeah. He's got the flannel crop top, the short shorts, and cowboy hat.
Yeah, I wonder how that works with her little hair loopy, but... But I wish they would make Nezos of those, because Ruby is so cute with her Korea dress.
And that picture of Keen-chan in the, I think it was Thailand. Thailand. She actually dressed in Hanamaru's outfit for that, and she looked so cute.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we will be at UICon, and off the balcony, unfortunately excluding me, will be, but off the balcony meaning Steven and Hannah will be at...
All of us will be there, we'll be in separate groups. It'll be me and Steven hosting off the balcony.
For Anime Milwaukee, otherwise known as AMKI, the weekend after UICon.
And all of the panels we've submitted, except for Angst and Regret, have got approved for the schedule, so they better not get mad at us for Waifu Wars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last time we did it, we had that was like one of our best...
We got invited to a con.
Because of how good we ran that panel. So, yeah, be on the lookout for Off the Balcony at Anime Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Always going to put on a great show. So
AMKI is going to technically be my birthday weekend, even though my birthday is the Monday after the con.
Right, yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. So I guess we are out of announcements and everything. Shall we move on to talking about anime? Steven, what do you think?
Yeah, that's what that sounds good.
Okay, let's start with the first in our cycle. This will be the first anime that we have watched in 2025.
And it was Heather's pick.
Heather's pick, and we watched the anime known as Achikochi, otherwise known as Place to Place.
I thought that anime would have done a lot better in our love month for February.
That's what I was telling her. I was like, hey, you picked a banger for love month. Here's the problem, though. You're about a month... We're not open yet.
Pick this in January.
But, I mean, it's always a good time to watch. I mean, how many romance animes have we watched outside of Love Month?
True.
It does happen. But yeah, it was a really cute show. It's to give you a sense of the art style, it's very much in the vein of, like, Lucky Star in that it's...
Little moe blobs.
Yeah, moe blob. And they really lean into the whole moe blob kind of design. But anyway, the main story is about this girl named Sumiki. Yeah, Sumiki, who she's this very cute but shy girl who likes this pretty astute but also pretty dense character named Io. And it's really just about their friends noticing that they have like really good chemistry with each other, that they do clearly like each other, and just wanting them to date. Which is kind of funny because the side characters have like a lot of their own sort of quirks about them.
There's that girl that just keeps getting punched into orbit.
Yes.
Every time she talks.
Right. Yeah, and
she's a girl that starts shit and takes the shit.
Yeah, and gets hit. There's like the teacher that is always getting into clumsy situations. There's who else? There's
the funny dude best friend character.
Oh, Kiyuya, I think is his name, Kiyuya. There's Sakaki, who's like Io's best friend and like his partner in crime and everything. Yeah. What did you guys think of the show?
It was so wholesome.
It was very cute. It was very, very cute.
Very lovely.
Yeah, it was very cute, very wholesome.
So many cats.
A lot of cats.
Like, if you just need something cute and fluffy to put on, definitely give Achikochi a try.
Yeah, and we're not even trying to sell the show short by the fact that we don't really have a whole lot to say about it. It's just a very comfy watch.
Yeah, just not much really happens, but that's a compliment. Just get to a nice wholesome show, just watch some funny characters do funny things.
Yeah, you get to just kick back, watch some cute characters, you know, be a little bit lovey-dovey without all the drama. You get a lot of laughs.
Yeah, it's not actually confirmed romance, just crushes.
Yeah, it's implied, but
very much implied.
But I don't know. I don't really have all that much to say about it, even though it was like a very lovely show. So I don't know. Where do we stand on this show, guys?
Let's say A tier.
A tier, okay.
Good.
Here, I'll help.
Since you can't see it, I was pouring myself a glass of wine and dropped the cap.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, wow, that rolled a long way.
So, yeah, I'd say either low A or high B. Definitely very good.
Yeah, I'd give it either a low A or a high B tier. It's definitely, like...
That have no problems with it. It's just that
There's
it
not a
just
lot...
doesn't really stay in my memory too much, you know?
There's not a lot
It's
to
like
it.
it's like another. We remember cute points, but trying to get us to remember the entire show ain't gonna work.
Well, I like this show better than Another, to
Yeah.
be sure, because unlike Another, which was full of like emo bait kind of stuff, this didn't have any of the kind of edgelord shit that can sometimes rub people the wrong way.
It's literally just wholesome.
Literally just super cute super cute anime characters doing super cute things. Sumiki and Io are super cute together, so yeah, be on the lookout for this show, because I think it's relatively new. It may not be the newest show, but
Here, let me look up when it came out, actually.
here, I think I got it right. Oh, it came out in anime from...
You'll get there.
Yeah, tell me about it. From... Oh, wait, it is old. Never mind. April to June of 2012.
Oh, yeah, that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
2015 was 10 years ago, guys.
Please don't remind me. I just turned 28.
Right, yeah.
I'm about to turn 25 next month.
Old.
30.
Wait, aren't you already 30? Aren't you
Yes! I'm 30 right now! Anyway, anyway, where were we? So,
Yeah, I'm
This is-
about,
this
I'm
is why we
about
don't-
to turn 25.
This is why we don't
If-
post average ages in our Discord. If we did, everyone turns to dust.
yeah.
If I end up hearing somewhere about any kids at the school I work at having a crush on me, I'll just tell them they're hag maxing.
Oh, dear. Yeah, you might be speaking in, like, pull some Gen Alpha terms on them. Anyway, Achikochi, a.k.a. Place to Place, 2 thumbs up.
Hell yeah.
A, B tier around in that area. So, yeah, go give it a watch. All right, next was...
As my pick.
Which was...
We finally capped off all of the Love Live anime that's out so far. Love Live Superstar Season 3.
Now, I think it'd be instructive to look back about 2 years ago when we first reviewed Love Live Superstars Season 1 and 2. Because we came away with that with, we'll call it
Apprehension.
mixed results to be.
Season 1 was really amazing, and Season 2, by the end of it, just completely dropped the ball.
Yeah, I mean...
And it wasn't even the fact that they added new characters, which is what everybody online says what happened to Season 2. It's like, no, the new characters were planned from the very beginning. What happened in Season 2 is that the writers forgot to actually write characters.
Yeah,
Like, they introduced all these new characters and then did nothing with them, just made it all about Kanon.
And so, going back to Season 1. So, full review of Season 1. We gave that, well, we'll talk about ratings later. But we thought that was a really good Love Live show.
Yeah, I think you've said before that was like one of your favorite seasons of Love Live ever.
And remained so even after Season 2. I mean, I thought they did great with the characters. Because there was a smaller character pool, they were able to really build each character up quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, and Kanon, I contend, is probably the best orange-haired protagonist from Love Live that we have ever...
Yeah. Those songs from Season 1 are all bangers.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah,
yeah, I remember when... I think Episode 9 is when they did Nonfiction, that Sumire Center one.
Yeah, that was a great song.
Yeah, I still see Sumire cosplayers with the Nonfiction outfit.
Right, yeah. Speaking of the writing, because the writing is, of course, my biggest bitch with Season 2. But Season 1, they wrote really good arcs for the characters that were there. And the characters that were there were Kanon, Sumire, Cuckoo...
Ren and Chisato.
Yeah, all of them had great characterization.
Kanan, Sumire, and Ren especially got great arcs.
Yeah, had really, really good arcs.
Yeah, I feel like Ren especially is one of the few student council characters in Love Live where she's not at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, right. Where
Because they actually make it, like, I mean, despite the whole school idols killed my mom, okay?
yeah,
Thing, or, like, actually, kind of I kind of like her, because they make her actually likable.
yeah. And then in season 2, so we loved season 1, but season 2,
They introduced Kinako, Mei, Shiki, and Natsumi.
yes, and those 4 characters had good starts. I'll say that they had good start,
Yeah.
especially Kinako and Shiki.
Yeah, they pretty much each only had one episode to introduce them and add them to the group
And it's
before
not
the writers just kind of forgot to give them any more.
and she's not kidding. She doesn't mean one episode per character. She means Kinako, Shiki, Mei, and
Natsumi.
Natsumi.
I feel like Shiki and Mei had one episode together.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you know what? Which they do make a cute.
I mean, to be fair, Mei and Shiki, it's kind of hard to separate them.
sure,
That they are the together, do not separate.
yeah, which is fair, but also it's kind of like me side eyeing the Love Live writers, like, okay, Simpson, you win this round.
The writers in their barely disguised fetish.
They gave us 2 characters for the price of 1.
Yeah, I see what you're doing, and it's not anything against Shiki or Mei. They're great characters, and they work really well together.
Shiki is like one of the top of my list for favorite Sunshine superstar characters.
She's also top of your stack.
Oh yeah, my third Nesso stack. She's stacked right at the top.
Yep, right above. Who is that? Is that I?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I just noticed she had some blue on her hair.
Oh, that's a scrunchie.
Oh, okay.
That's part of her design. She has little scrunchies on her arms.
Okay. So
Natsumi is over there under, I think that's...
oh
right
yeah.
between Setsuna and Mia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see Natsumi. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
I think Mei's the only one of the second gen that I don't have a Nesso of.
right. Yeah, same here.
Father, I require Mei.
I know. Look, I got some extra money. We'll make some shit happen at Amkey, okay? But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, MQ when I get my tax returns back.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Schwab. You haven't gotten your shit together yet.
So yeah, they introduced those 4 characters all at once. And then, which is already kind of unusual for a Love Live show. Usually when that happens, I've noticed in Love Live anime, they tend to introduce the characters in kind of a staggered fashion, where it's like they'll do an episode with the main 3, and then they'll introduce characters sort of gradually until by the end of the season you have the full boat.
Yeah.
Like, say, in Aqua, they introduced Ruby by persuading her with candy.
Yeah. Not like Rico, where they
Come to the van, little kid. Come join the Idol Club.
we have candy. Nintendo mom would have had me in the van, so. But,
Oh, man.
anyway, so anyway, they introduced, and those are the first years, by the way. Kinako, Mei, Shiki, and
I mean, they're second years by the end of season 3, but yeah, season 2, they're the first
Season
years.
2, they're the first years. And the problem is, immediately after they introduce all these characters, they did pretty good setup with Shiki and Mei. Kinako had some stuff, but was instantly likable. Not to me, kind of distant, but okay, we can develop her later. They just their development became super static because because for some reason in season 2, the writers forgot how to address character growth and character arc where Kanan wasn't involved.
Yeah, I mean, the moment I always bring up is Natsumi's episode. When Natsumi gets brought into the group, well, the other first years have already joined Liela at that time, and Natsumi was just kind of considering it, so they decided to take her on a training camp to Kinako's hometown of Hokkaido.
Right.
They do some little training things there, and Natsumi starts gradually liking the idol club, and then they suddenly cut to Kanon, where it's like, oh, my dad's on a business trip, but he accidentally left his important documents at home. I have to go to Hokkaido now.
Yeah.
And she literally parachutes in to tell Natsuki to join the club.
Which is which I was at.
I mean, it leads to a banger song, but
Yeah.
come on, you could have made it more believable.
Yeah, there was no effort put into that scenario. It's so bizarre because the writing in season 1 is so good, and the season 2 writing is just absolute trash in certain points. It doesn't, and like there's a rival that becomes later in season 3 that becomes important later in season 3.
Yeah. Ween Margaret.
Yeah,
Margaret Ween.
Yeah, but she has like no character besides staring ominously at Kanon.
Yeah, she says Shibuya Kanon, stares at her, and then disappears.
Yeah, she does the whole Batman thing.
Then it turns out she's a middle schooler.
Yeah, she's only 14 years old. But yeah, the writing.
Oh yeah, and in season 1 they have the whole rival group Sunny Passion that helps out Liela, but they eventually win instead of Liela in season 1. And then season 2 they have a little thing with Sunny Passion, like, no group has ever won the Love Live twice. We hope we'll be that group. And then Ween beats them, and then they're just gone from the story forever.
Which is sad because I remember Sunny Passion having a pretty good song.
Yeah.
But with the so the writing obviously devolves, but there's one episode where they really got it back, and it was the episode where they think Cuckoo's going to leave for China, and it's actually Sumire. It's kind of the episode where Sumire and Kanon, Sumire and Cuckoo kind of quote kiss and make up.
Yeah.
Because they finally set aside their differences, and Cuckoo decides to stay. And I did notice that after that episode, she treats Sumire more respectfully than she had in the past. I mean, they snipe at each other, but it didn't feel quite as pointed as it had in.
It's not just Sumire breathes and Cuckoo says, "Oh my god, shut up!"
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah. It's nothing like that. And the way season 2 ended, Kanon was going to go to Austria to study.
Oh yeah, because Ween's whole thing's that she was supposed to go to a fancy art school in Austria, but her family said, no, you need to learn more about this Kanon girl. This Kanon girl can actually sing.
Yeah,
then Ween decides to go to Japan and enter the Love Live. And then when she finally gets to the finals, they do it like what is the message you're going to give to your fans? And she basically does the old Aya Hirano thing, saying, idol fans are fucking trash. This is how you actually sing.
Yeah.
And then is surprised when she loses because the fans didn't vote for her.
So, yeah, that's where... And the season ends with Kanon, instead of going to Austria,
just sees Ween show up in the Yui Gaoka uniform. Like, hey, I'm joining your school. The trip's off.
Yeah. And so that leads us directly into season 3, where the...
Kanon had basically told all of her friends that, hey, I'm leaving for Austria. Today's my last day here.
Right.
And then the whole first episode is pretty much Kanon trying to avoid everyone. It's like, how can I face everyone now?
Yeah, and because there was like a big deal of Kanon leaving, and now she has to basically backpedal. But she does eventually go up against her group. And everyone's excited at first, but then Kanon has to say, look, I'm not back to be in Liela. I have to teach Marguerite how to be an idol. And also, she ends up picking up a third member, Tomari, who is
Natsumi's sister.
Which,
out of all of the characters, get probably the least developed of the...
We get the sister of the least developed character being kind of shunted into this new group. But the thing is, I actually ended up really liking Tomari in the show. I don't know how you or Steven felt about Tomari, but
I was confused about her at first, but then like as the story went on, it's like I I get her now.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally her character. She's very,
Like, they had a whole Onitsuka sister development episode. Where, like, Natsumi just had so many dreams growing up and then just realized, oh, I'll never achieve this. Cross it off. I'll never achieve that one either.
yeah, it's actually a good sequence in context of the show where it's like,
Where Natsumi tries and fails at everything, and then Tamari just gets...
sad watching her sister fail, and then eventually Natsumi says, I guess the only thing that'll make me happy is just getting rich. And just getting
Tamari took
rich,
that personally.
you say.
yeah, and it
Like, why would... And Tamari's whole thing is, why would you do anything if it doesn't make you money? This is just gonna make my sister sad.
yeah, it ends up being some pretty heartwarming development and leads to some good scenes between Natsumi and Tamari. And not only does it develop Tamari well, but it gives Natsumi a lot of like
The development she missed out on in season 2.
the development that she missed out on in season 2, and we'll get back to how I feel about season 2 in retrospect of season 3. But yeah, the stuff with Tamari, who is the third of Kanon's group, and Natsumi ends up working really, really well. There's also a side plot where they have to go back to China to find Cuckoo.
Oh yeah, because if Cuckoo's sister takes everyone to China, because there's a China Idol festival, and plus Cuckoo's sister like wants to change her parents' minds that like Cuckoo should chase her dreams of becoming a singer.
Mm-hmm. And they go through this whole like giant set. Like she leads them on like a Die Hard 3 kind of chase through Shanghai.
There's just texts them random pictures from Cuckoo's phone. It's like, go to these locations. It's just different like tourist spots that they should see.
Right. Which, by the way, folks, is literally the plot of Die Hard with a Vengeance, the third Die Hard film. But yeah, they end up reconnecting with Cuckoo. They put on this performance with this really, really good song. All the songs in season 3 were incredible.
Yeah.
And so they put on this song, and Cuckoo ends up staying with the group. So that works out for them. And basically the main, I want to say real quick, the overarching plot is trying to get Marguerite and to a lesser extent Tamari integrated into the idol group. So when Kanon and the other third years graduate, they'll still have like a full boat of performers so they can continue to put out music as an idol group.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of different little plots too. Like, first it's like Kanon, and then the 2 new first years versus Leela, and then eventually they do the episode where they find out only one group per school can enter the Love Live, so they try to do a little battle thing.
Yeah, battle the bands.
Yeah, there's actually a song for that called Dazzling Game, where it's literally just the 2 groups basically kind of battle rapping, but more like battle idling, and then they're supposed to have their school vote for which group should enter the Love Live, and it just literally ends in, just combine the groups already, you've just become just one Leela.
Yeah, and so Marguerite's desires get overridden, and boom, we've got Leela. We don't even have Leela back. It's just Kanon brought her 2 new friends into the fold of Leela.
And then there's the final plot where it's the third years actually deciding what to do when they graduate.
Right. Well, let's not forget the arc between Ren and Kinako.
Oh yeah, Kinako got her own episode.
Yeah.
And her own center song.
Yeah, and it was...
Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, Kinako is one of our favorite characters.
Yep.
Her and her say you were just so cute.
Yep. What's it, Nanchan?
Yeah. Nozomi Suzuhara.
Yeah.
Nanchan.
She's on Instagram all the time, like just...
She's literally Kinako IRL.
Yeah. But, yeah, she has a great song, and she has a great art. Basically, she ends up finding that despite being a bit of a klutz and a little, like, kind of nervous, she overcomes that to become, like, the school council president.
Yeah, Ren's looking for somebody to take over the student council after she graduates, and like nobody else feels like they could fit Ren's shoes, so Ren needs to actually scout somebody, and then she notices Kinako's potential. You're gonna be the student council president, and so Kinako takes over that role.
Yeah, and you see Kinako really come out of her shell as a character, and like she really ends up impressing everyone and becoming a really like a good at her job, at what her future job is going to be after Ren. I almost said passes on, but it's not like
passes the torch.
Yeah, passes the torch down to Kinako. And it's just great to watch, you know, because Kinako was a character that had a lot of potential in season 2 that just, like a lot of things in season 2, just never got built upon.
Like a lot of the first 2 or 3 episodes are really focused on her, and then just drops.
Right, and it's kind of like you almost expect, if you watch those first 2 episodes of season 2, you almost would kind of expect that
like Kinako would become like the new main character.
Yeah, or at the very least where she ends up, new student council president. But they just don't do a lot with Kinako in season 2. But they make up for it in season 3 because she is featured quite a bit, and her episode I think is probably the best episode of season 3.
Oh yeah. So episode 3 of season 3 is a Shiki episode.
Yes.
It's like, well, the clubs are still kind of fractured with the Kanon, Tomari, and Ween one versus the Leela with everyone else. Or the current Leela has to enter the idol contest that they were in season 2, and then they decide to have Shiki as the center, and like Shiki doesn't know how to deal with it, but thanks to Mei and everyone else, they get it figured out, and leads to probably one of my favorite songs from season 3.
Oh, the
Special Color.
That was a really, really good song. That's we keep saying that Shiki often has a voice that sounds like doesn't sound like Britney Spears, but it's like if you put
that solo song she has on the second Sparkle album, Glass Ball Reflection, sounds exactly like Womanizer by Britney Spears.
Yeah, and she's a great performer too.
And her seiyuu is hilarious.
Yeah.
I remember me and Steven were watching a bunch of seiyuu clips, like subtitling funny seiyuu moments and stuff, and there's Leela on a talk show, and the host of that talk show says, so out of all you guys, I think my favorite is Kuma-chan, which is, her seiyuu's name is Wakana Okuma.
That's Shiki, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, why am I the favorite? Because you told the people that are already at the show, please come to our show.
Okay, that is pretty fucking funny. But yeah,
she is really cute too.
But I said what my favorite episode is. Steven, do you happen to have a favorite Love Live season 3 episode, arc, character?
Just like Kinako and Shiki, I guess.
Kinako and Shiki.
Yeah.
Also, I love how season 3 ended. How every Love Live series performs the debut song for the group at some point. Like, Muse did Bokura no Live in like episode 9 after they got Ellie. Aqua, they did Kimi Coco, and like it was in season 2, like when they didn't think they'd do like the Love Live qualifiers and the performance at the school at the same time, but they eventually make it. Then they do Kimi Coco there, and then I think it was season 2 in Nijigasaki when they were trying to convince Lanzu to join the club. They did Tokimeki Runners.
Oh,
so for Leila, it's like everybody's wondering, when are they gonna do Hajimari wa Kimi no Sora? Where's Haji Sora?
Yeah.
And eventually, season 3 ends with the 5-member group of Leila performing Haji Sora for the other members of the group, and then as the credits roll, it does a full 11-member version.
Oh, okay. And like, so yeah, that's cool. and the way it ends is great. I think it's like they really rebounded after a shaky season 2. They rebounded and gave us a really, really good season 3. It may not be quite as good as season 1, but like they really, this is like what season 2 should have.
They picked up the pieces.
They did pick up the pieces, and they really ran with it. So I respect the hell out of it for that. That's why I give season 2. I give season 2 a low B tier, but I give season 3 of Love Live Superstar an A tier.
Same.
Yep.
And
I think I gave season 2 of Love of Superstar. I think I gave it like C tier.
Yeah, you did.
Just because it was so disappointing.
Yeah, I debated with myself saying whether it should be B or C. I gave it a low B tier, frankly, because I was kind of being generous. But because the first season had done so well, then I'm like, there's no way season 3 is going to be the make or break. You know what I mean? Yeah. And fortunately, they made it. So, that's awesome. And also, before we move on, I just want to...
The new Love Live news.
Oh, well, I'll leave that to you guys, because you guys have been following it closer than me.
Which is just watching the thing.
I have.
Oh, I guess we're all on the same page, then.
Yeah, that's all of the news that's dropped so far, is that little teaser that...
Well, the name of the property is
Love Live Bluebird. So, like last weekend, they had the last stop of Love Live's Asia tour in Yokohama was the last stop of it, and at the end of day 2, they just suddenly dropped a teaser for the new Love Live franchise, Love Live Bluebird. I think the subtitle is like Ikitsugu, or I don't remember what the kanji thing is, like Ikitsugubu, which translates to either Hard Life Club or Life is Hard Club.
It's a hard knock life.
If they don't cover that, I will die laughing.
It just turns out to be Love Live doing Annie.
The teaser picture for it so far is of a girl where
the Jay-Z version.
Half the screen looks like she's dancing, but the other half looks like she's crying. It's some blonde girl with a side ponytail, which people are saying she kind of looks like Honoka, kind of looks like that one girl from Oshinoko.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
Liz and the Bluebird.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't remind me of any Love Live show. It reminded me of the movie Liz and the Bluebird, which is in the Sound Euphonium franchise. But
I still need to show that full series to you guys sometime.
Please do, because I loved Liz and the Bluebird. Like, it was one of my favorite...
I still haven't seen Liz and the Bluebird.
Oh, it's so good.
I have it on DVD. I need to actually show it to you sometime.
It's such a good movie.
What you're going to do is strap me down to the couch out there and say, you're going to watch it.
So all the movies I have in my collection that you weren't there for Anime Club for because you were working at the airport.
Right.
Yeah, that one night I had to stay until like 3 in the fucking morning because some part had to get mailed in.
God damn.
God, I just...
Be like that sometime. But
we're already getting a next gen of Love Live, which... I did not expect that to happen until after Aqua's final live.
Also, rip Hasu, no anime, I guess.
Oh yeah, Hasuno Sora. Still don't know anything about that because hasn't really been accessible in the West so far.
Well, they're a VTuber Love Live, right?
Yeah, which how the app works is that they have little live streams every day and like little live stream concerts too, but they have it as a real time thing. So. Story had the first years as they were first years and the second years too, but now like when this year happened they aged everybody up, so then the second years are now third years and then the second years are the first years are second years and then added a new group of first years. But then like people were thinking, what are they gonna do for this year? And people were thinking they were just gonna stop the service there and just make an anime of where they are now, but nope. Around the time that the Bluebird announcement happened, they revealed that Hasu's just going to keep going.
So
they're apparently going to have the 30 years canonically graduate and then just add some new characters, which makes me scared. What's going to happen to those seiyus?
Yeah,
royalties. The royalties.
I think they'll still incorporate them to some capacity.
Yeah.
Like
I know one thing they did say is that there's going to be a thing called Dream Lives, in the app where it's going to be like the years come together stuff. So technically they'll still be there, but they may or may not be part of the actual story anymore, which makes me sad because I know there's a story of one girl that's part of it that voices Kozue, who's one of the third years now, where she was right at the cutoff age to audition for Love Live.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think she auditioned for like Sunshine or Nijigasaki or Superstar, one of the groups, and just like she failed the auditions for those, but just kept practicing dance, practicing everything to just hoping she'd make it, and then just eventually she did make it for Hasu. So now I'd just be so sad if she just had to leave.
No, I agree. But I don't think they'll do that. The company's pretty good about taking care of these seiyus, and all of them.
Hell, Muse is still.
And speaking of which, I want to say, talking about Love Live Superstar is actually big for us because for a full year in 2024, with the sole exception of mentions of with the sole exception of Nijion, we haven't done a roundup on any Love Live material for the entire year of 2024.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for the Niji movie to get subbed and put online.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know the Niji movie released on Blu-ray on January 29th. And now I'm just waiting for it to appear on the pirate sites.
So if you're patiently waiting for our take on the Love Live Nijigasaki movie, believe me, we are too. As soon as we get the movie, we'll do the movie on the podcast. But
oh yeah, also speaking of Niji content, also on the 29th they dropped the first round of monthly girl songs.
Oh yeah.
Mia's was for January, which her 2 songs for that are so good.
Yeah, they are really good. Though the naming is kind of funny because it's
White
called
Delight and Joy is All Around.
Which, of course, they call the American White Delight.
Which I will say, White Delight sounds like an anime OP. Joy is All Around sounds like Persona music.
No, White Delight sounds like a mixed drink you get at a fucking ski resort.
Like, you know how they have like the mud, like they have like the dark Russian,
Yeah.
where you just mix with it's like you mix it with like a dark cream.
It's like vodka and milk, kind of, right?
No, it's Kahlua and vodka, I think.
Ooh, that actually sounds kind of gas. Not gonna lie.
I also call it a muddy road usually. This sounds like a White Russian, but instead of Kahlua that you put in there, it sounds like you put like cream and vodka, like rum chata and vodka together.
Ooh, that
Call that a White Delight.
won't be feeling too white and delightful that in the morning.
I mean,
after.
I'm pretty sure I won't change from being white, but the delight won't be there.
Yeah, the delight will have fully gone down the toilet in more ways than one. But
to cap off this section, so I'd say we all get this like A tier, probably.
A tier, yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say real quick that Love Live's been having a big year this in 2024, especially in the back half, because not only did we get the Nijigasaki movies, which Nijigasaki is impressive in its own right, because they really are like, they originally started kind of more as like a Hazuna Sora kind of tide you over group.
They were supposed to be just a side group that was intended for a mobile game for Love Live All Stars. Like, they were not intended to get an anime at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But it was just the fans.
Yeah, the fans loved like what they were doing with these characters, so they got an anime. And now they've got like movies, they've got OVAs, they've got their concerts going on, and they're part of the thing that I really wanted to talk about, the Asia tour. The Asia tour is fucking biblical right now.
Yeah.
They are just because they've gone from China to Taiwan to
I'm just going to open up the wiki page right now to see what cities they were actually in.
I looked it up. I saw Guangzhou in southern China, Shanghai, Taipei, which is in Taiwan, Seoul,
Guangzhou, Shanghai, Taipei, Seoul, and then Yokohama, which that ended on the 2nd.
Right. And it's been a long-running tour, because I think they started back in the late summer of 2024.
Yeah. It looks like in Guangzhou, the first stop, they only had Liela there. And then in Shanghai, they had the 3 Muse representatives, Emitsun, Uchi, and Pyle, which is Honoka, Kotori, Maki. Then Aqua, their representatives were YYY, Shuka, Yo, Aikyan, which is Yoshiko, and Furin, which is Ruby. And then for Niji, they only had Mayuchi, Shuchan, and Homin, which is Kasumi, Miya, and Lanzu. And then all of the Ayla.
Right. But this tour has just been everywhere they have gone. I have seen nothing but like they have sold out every arena that they have come across. They like, and these are big arenas, you know. They're like tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, there's one YouTube channel that's been uploading a lot of the Yokohama stuff. There's probably somebody that had a ticket to the live stream and then just recorded the individual songs from the live stream and posted them up. And like, yeah, I don't know what the capacity of the K Arena in Yokohama is, but yeah, that place just looks fucking biblical. Like, I saw the 3 members of Muse that were there performed Snow Halation, and yeah, that ultra orange when it hit the big part in Snow Halation, it just felt like a solar flare.
Right.
All that fucking orange.
It was like U2 at their peak or something. Oh, their capacity is 20,000.
Damn.
But keep in mind, that's the same capacity as Madison Square Garden and New York City.
Yeah.
So
Love Live could fill Madison Square Garden.
Love Live could fill 3 Madison Square Gardens from the
Tokyo Dome.
From the final live, because and it's like, I think the biggest shattering fact about doing Love Live shows is like, wait a minute, Madison Square Garden is only that big? Hell, Soldier Field is the size of the Tokyo Dome where they did their final live. But yeah, all the concert footage that I've been seeing, and it's so nice that they bring that there are still 3 and I get it, the Muse people are all busy right now.
We know Reapy and Mimorine would have been there if they weren't having kids.
Yeah, if they weren't.
And Mimorine's in New York now, so
Yeah. And Mimorine's posts of discovering America are just fucking hilarious. Because she went to a Starbucks recently.
I saw like a brownie batter mocha, and her post said, "It's not butter, it's batter. I can feel the calories from here."
Her posts about America are fantastic, but
I love her posts after she had her second child and talk about how hospitals were different in America than in Japan, and like she said a whole lesson of how to strap her child into a car seat and then just left. It's like, oh, what do I do now?
But so yeah, the tour is fantastic, and I think my favorite part is the fact that like they still bring the Muse girls. It's like it's completely different to a lot of like old. Like they are part of the legacy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are like, it's not like a pop, it's not kind of like K-pop where it's like, oh,
like after you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. But like, you know, Emitsun, Uchi, and Pyle, I mean, they're all.
It's like every time there's like a reunion of some kind, they're always there.
Yeah, they're always there, and it's got to be crazy. Imagine if you're like one of the Hasu girls. Or one of the Liela girls, and you're like...
You got into Love Live because you saw Nico Nico Ni.
Yeah, and it's like you got into music because of the Beatles, and there's John, Paul, George, and Ringo who are fronting the whole thing. It's like, what do you even do in that situation? But yeah, it's great to see.
Like that story of Lanzu Seiyu, where I think she was in like Seiyu vocational school, and like she said, she was part of a Love Live cover group, and she did Kotori's parts.
Oh, right. Oh, and then she got to meet Uchi on the Asia tour, which is great. But so yeah, that I just wanted to point that out. The Asia tour for Love Live has been biblical. We will be watching it all, and we will definitely be giving our thoughts on it.
Oh yeah, I still one more Love Live thing I'm going to talk about. Then we can end the Love Live tangent. Today they announced...
Tangent, she says. Tangent, she says.
Well, today, the people that bought the final single, AQ Hours, and submitted their codes to enter the lottery for tickets to the final live.
You poor
got revealed
bastard. Where the fuck are... Come on the podcast. We'll fly you out here to tell your story.
Yeah. So, a lot of people in the server were in won tickets for either day 1 or day 2, which, to be fair, we didn't enter because none of us have the means to go to Japan, but...
I mean,
yeah.
unless someone wants to give me a little more than unemployment. But, you know.
Yeah, just one story that I saw today that will probably stick with me for the rest of my life is somebody that bought 400 copies of AQ Hours, which means they had 400 codes, 400 chances to get tickets, and none of them were successful.
Scalpers ain't getting shit.
Jesus is trying to tell you something. You might want to listen. You ain't going to that show.
You know, there was a guy who bought, like, what,
452 and
yeah,
he
450.
won.
He got one.
Got one ticket?
Got one ticket.
Well,
So
he's doing better than the other guy.
The guy that bought 400, you just needed about 52 more and you would have gotten something.
Like, look, Pyle, I love you, but, like, I ain't got 400 CDs worth of money.
Pyle, he says about the Aqua CD.
Well, to go to the Asia tour.
This is for the final live, wasn't it?
Yeah, for Aqua's final live.
Oh, well.
Which technically isn't really their final live. This just may or may not be the final concert where all the members of Aqua are present.
And then again, it's probably going to be...
Even then, it's probably an if Keen-chan will ever show up, but... I'm not shading Keen-chan or anything, it's...
Yeah, she just got married, so...
Yeah, and she does have that anxiety disorder, so she hasn't shown up to the subunit events.
Yeah, so it's, you know... We'll wait and see, but yeah, Love Live's doing great.
Hopefully Keen-chan shows up. I love you, Keen-chan.
Yeah, we all love Hanamaru in this house. But anyway, Love Live done. Let's move to Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
Steven,
Yeah.
Time for my autism. Let's go.
let's do it. We saw the... You're gonna have to... I only know it as the...
Onision saves.
No. We don't bring Onision up in this house. We don't do that.
Omicron Percy I6.
The Unicron.
Hannah, divorce.
No.
Oracion says it's Spanish, so of course the white woman wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you got me there.
Anyway, tell us what this arc is about.
So this arc is the first arc of season 2 of Fairy Tail. Yeah, the end of season 1 was the Battle of Fairy Tail, which was like, what, 50 odd something episodes, I think.
50? I thought it was more like 7 or 8.
The first season of Fairy Tail was like 50 odd something episodes, I think.
Oh, the first... Okay. I thought you meant the last. So the whole arc is called Battle of Fairy Tail?
No, that was the end of the first season.
Right.
That arc was the end of the first season. This arc at the beginning of the second season is Oracion says, or people just call it the Nirvana arc because they can't speak Spanish. Which is kind of funny how the Japanese put more effort in speaking Spanish than some Americans, but that's a different point for a different day. This one is a coalition of light guilds facing off against the Dark Guild Oracion Saints, which is supposed to be either 6 demons or six dreams, something like that, or 6 nightmares, I don't know. And they fight over the ancient weapon Nirvana, which can change good to evil and then shoot a beam to kill people.
Which works in some pretty funny ways because the one dude whose face is just all angles.
Yeah, Hot Eye. No, actually, his name's Richard.
So yes, Richard, who was like a super money obsessed.
We called him the Crypto Bro.
Yeah, the Crypto Bro. They're called mages, right? He's a mage.
Wizard.
A wizard. The Crypto Bro wizard who ends up turning like super good after coming into contact with Nirvana.
After Nirvana's activated, it has a thing where it can switch light and dark.
Yeah. But yeah, the arc, I thought this arc was like one of the better Fairy Tail arcs that you've shown us so far. And I don't even say that like disparagingly or anything. I mean legitimately, it was like some good Fairy Tail storytelling. But I think what you've told me about how Fairy Tail is like either an A tier or a B tier for you, that's lining up with me as well, because every arc it feels like it's either an A tier or a B tier.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's why the entire show is like that for me, because it goes up and down. I think it goes more up after A1 gets the boot, which is like episode 100 something.
Great.
But,
check back in fall of 2027.
if we're still alive. If nuclear war with Russia hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But insofar as this arc is concerned, we've met some of the most interesting vocal tics Wade has ever seen.
What's
Man.
Ichiya.
Ichiya. Holy shit. Why were...
He looks like he's sculpted out of clay.
Yeah, and like, Ichiya... Well, Steven can describe him better, but, like, he's this little short red-headed guy who wears, like, a white, like, kind of leisure suit Larry suit. He's got, like, 3, boy servants who follow him around. And
No, don't call them boy servants, please. Please don't call them boy servants in the context of Blue Pegasus. Please don't. Because that guild is very, fabulous, I guess is the way you can put it.
Oh, dear. Well, he's got
the thing about Blue Pegasus is that they all kind of like moonlight as like hosts and hostess.
Okay.
So they're like eccentric like that, but they actually do packs and punches for some of them.
Okay. I mean, but I was only being cheap, but but he's got these 3 guys, but he is actually a good fighter, and it's revealed in actually a pretty funny way, like when he just fucking hulks out. He's like just fucking gigantic.
I like the way that he runs. He runs out like holding out the peace sign the
yeah,
entire time.
That was hilarious. But
and not that the 2 fingers everyone sees, it's like the metal head one, but you had the pink. I had the thumb out.
I want someone to cut his running together, like from the second Sonic movie, where the Robotnik robot is like marching to Pantera's walk. But I really liked this arc. I thought it was good. It had a lot of good emotion, especially from Urza, and Jalal comes back into the fold, and they do like his memory gets like scrambled, so he doesn't remember any of the shit that happened with
the Tower of Heaven.
Yeah, the Tower of Heaven, and so he's like Urza wants to keep him alive so he can face justice. Jalal agrees to this because he doesn't really know what they're talking about, but from like Urza's reaction, he can tell this is important. So, and
his memory does come back while he is being carted off to face justice.
Yeah, in a really emotional sequence, like where Natsu leads this whole rebellion against this
the new Magic Council police force.
Yeah, when they come to arrest Jalal, and Urza tells them no, he needs to face justice, and that's kind of the end of that. But throughout the battle, there's a lot of good action, and some of my favorite actually came from Natsu and Happy working together, because for those who aren't in the know of Fairy Tail, Natsu has this thing where he gets like extremely motion sick.
And this is the fun fact is this is all for first generation Dragon Slayers. Because there's a second generation, which means they just kind of throw a rock inside somebody and say, "You're a Dragon Slayer now."
Yeah, yeah.
But first generations are the ones who were, quote, taught by dragons, and they all just have like a very bad case of motion sickness.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking whole. I think the only one who really doesn't suffer in her is Wendy when she uses her Troya spell to not do that.
So Natsu comes up with an interesting workaround where all he needs to do to avoid, getting clapped is to just fly, and Happy, who has his angel wings, is able to provide that service to him, and it leads to some pretty awesome fights. But I always laugh when Natsu does get like motion sickness. One, because I'm a motion sickness sufferer myself from time to time, so I kind of can relate to that. Well, I mean, obviously not in the same situations that Natsu gets into, but
Natsu just sees a car and gets motion sick.
Yeah, just sees a car and gets motion sick. Motherfucker walks too fast, and But his face when he gets sick is actually quite funny because he'll have like this like if you've ever seen the face that's like a colon and like the number 3, like the ooh face, it looks kind of like that. But yeah, I thought the action in this arc was good. The very end when it was dealing with like Wendy, and this guild, the guild that has been like
was just like a guy from So Nirvana was made by these guys named the Nervids. It just didn't smell like Teen Spirit. It's all right. I was gonna throw a Nirvana joke in there. You knew it. But
she should have just come as she was.
Man. But the Nervids made this weapon to quell a war 400 years ago, and then they ended up being the target of a war. Like how people will fight, and then they realize this thing is actually worse than what they're fighting about, so they'll go fight that, and then just go on their merry way.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. And so the Nervids sealed it after their population went from like a good city size, because I think that was an ancient city on the back of that weapon.
Yeah,
down to like one guy. And the one guy who kept watch over for 400 years until it would either be destroyed or he just completely died.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was...
And because Wendy... What happened was her dragon left, because she's a dragon slayer. Oh, boy. So since her dragon left, she got escorted to essentially the Nervid guy by another version of Jalal, which the next arc will get into that. And so that other Jalal drops her off, and they then she just plays pretend with a guild for I don't know. She's like what 4? She's 4 when her dragon ditches her, and then. I guess she learned magic when she was also trying to grow up and walk, which is interesting, but alright. So then, until she's like, for 10 years, she's essentially just playing pretend.
Yeah. And
because everyone else is just a very lifelike apparition.
Yeah, and that reveal at the very end, first of all, that got me, and her reaction was so heartbreaking, because, like, Wendy had spent all this time, feeling guilt and like learning to grow with the other members of Fairy Tail,
and Blue Pegasus and Lamiusco, I think the other one was.
Yeah, and then at the end, the master of the guild that had been watching over Nirvana City said, "Well, you don't need me anymore. You have like a group that you can call your family." And then all the keep in mind, these are people who Wendy had like grown up with. These are people that she knew, and they all just turn out to be fake, and it just all turns out to be like an entire, as Steven said, an apparition. I thought that was a really, really good, really powerful kind of bait and switch there. And so yeah, I thought it was a really, really good arc for Fairy Tail. And like I was telling Steven, arcs in Fairy Tail are either like Tower of Heaven, Galuna Island, and this one have been like the Nirvana arc have been my favorites in Fairy Tail,
especially since the Nirvana arc really touches on the Tower of Heaven arc like 3 different times, because almost all of Horatio and Sace was part of the Tower of Heaven.
Yeah, like it actually, like they're starting to do some more connective tissue with the whole Tower of Heaven stuff. Well, throughout the whole show, really. So I guess where I stand on it is, yeah, this is one of Fairy Tail's better entries. And I know the way I say that, it makes it sound like Fairy Tail isn't all that good. No, it's a great show so far. It's just, some arcs are, going to be better than others. And it sounds like the arcs are going to get... I've noticed that when Fairy Tail has longer arcs, they've been, like, the better ones, as opposed to like the shorter ones where they've been, that was okay, not really anything to write home about.
I do believe half of its presentation, but then again, I really couldn't really, in good conscience, combine 2 arcs at the end of the from the last couple times. But right now, we can definitely get going. I think the next time I will be able to show an arc is going to be after the it's the arc after they switch studios.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be a bit. Like this next one's 20 episodes, and the next one's 27, and the one after that's 53.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The 20 and the 27, those are doable as normal 2-weekers, but 53, we'll discuss that.
Yeah.
As we.
I was thinking separate. I was doing 2 different 2-weekers.
Sure. That makes sense.
That's gonna be what I was gonna do there. But yeah, other than that, I feel Nirvana. This arc is actually another one of my. This ranks high among the arcs that's in Fairy Tail.
Yeah, I would agree. Hannah, do you have anything to say about the Nirvana arc of Fairy Tail?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Steven tried to show you all of Fairy Tail in one go. How did?
Yeah. I think Battle Shonen's just kind of just slide off my brain. I don't know what to say.
That's fine. I've been trying to keep interest in idol shows, so it's starting to do that to me a little bit. It's okay. We have
our different things.
Yep.
I mean, I love both, so I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I've really grown to love.
Still need to watch more of Wake Up Girls. Watch all the Wake Up Girls content that there is.
Oh right.
Now, there's a limited amount, but it's still a lot, and I know there are other shows I want to see too. So I've really dropped the ball on Wake Up Girls. But
right. I mean, I liked Wake Up Girls, but with Fairy Tail, I mean, I really like.
This is one of the arcs where I say it gets really close to an S tier from me.
Yeah, it was a really good arc. I give the Nirvana arc an A tier, very high A tier.
Same.
Same with you, Steven?
Yep.
All right, now let's look at what Steven called peak tonight.
That was Lupin.
Okay. I heard you. Well, okay, Lupin was pretty fun too. But, not that this was fun, but...
it was fun in a different way.
We watched the anime movie. This was my pick, by the way. We watched the anime movie with a very strange title. I did a double feature tonight, and the first was how we kicked off February, which we reserve as our love month, Valentine's month, where we tend to watch like
rom-coms or shows that have a romance theme to it.
Yeah, which
I can't really say rom-coms because I know last year we watched Canon.
Yeah, usually it's kind of funny. Whenever we get to February, our most heartbreaking shows get put on display.
Yeah, and what shows have romance in them?
The ones that rip your soul.
Ends up being the saddest shows we've ever seen.
Yeah, and this was no different. So we watched I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Which, from that title alone, this is a cancer movie.
What?
I mean, they never outright say it's cancer. They just say she has a pancreatic illness.
They're very oblique about it. So I guess we should describe what the plot of this is. Basically, it's the story of this high school guy. His name is Haruki, but throughout the film, he goes mostly unnamed.
Yeah.
This guy Haruki, who's this very closed off, introverted, kind of bookwormish guy who doesn't have really any friends. He's very much a shut-in. It's not like creepy or anything. He's just kind of
just that guy at school that never talks.
The guy at school that never talks, and he ends up forming this bond with this girl named Sakura, who's the exact opposite. She's very vivacious.
The popular girl of the class.
Yeah, she's very vivacious and gregarious. She's loved by a lot of people. Yeah, even by a lot of people who I don't think... Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But she's very popular. But she ends up forming this bond with this person.
He ends up going to the hospital at the same time she does, and ends up accidentally reading her diary, where the diary's called "Living with Dying."
Yeah, which already sounds kind of like a self-help book, but
it's her diary where she talks about how she has a limited time left.
Yeah, she has a pancreatic disease. we won't say what if I had to guess, it's probably some form of cancer or something.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a lot of time left, and so she forms this bond with this guy in a very interesting way because he's so closed off. She can kind of be like the person that she can be herself to, that she doesn't have to close herself off so much and keep up these appearances of being this bright, shiny person.
Yeah. It's like, hey, come do all these bucket list things with me. You know I'm gonna die soon, you know?
Yeah.
Come on.
She could be, like, super open and even flippant about it, which I thought was a really interesting way to take something like this. Because all three of us have watched a lot of, like, I don't want to say the sick girl anime films or movies, but there's kind of a genre for this sort of thing. Steven, I know you've seen...
Hey, if you like Clanad and Canon, all the Studio Key stuff, you'll probably like this one.
Yeah, and if you've seen stuff like...
No, there's nothing supernatural about this. It's just
the
girl dying.
Yeah, it's played extremely straight. It's played very straightforwardly. And I was going to say stuff like the show that this movie, because it is a movie, it's only about 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's pretty short anime movie in terms of anime movies.
Yeah. What it reminded me most is something that me and Steven I know have watched called Your Lie in April. If you've seen Your Lie in April, it's a lot.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I love the opening song.
I will never show it to you because I can't do that again. I had seen Clanad before. Oh, the music's fantastic.
I will cut your mic.
The music's fantastic. Well, I mean, it's actually a music show, so...
Yes, it is.
But it's a very heartbreaking show, too. Definitely one of the best anime I think I've ever seen. But...
Yep. The only time I've ever felt that sad or rebelled was when I very stupidly decided to have Clanad and After Story go back to back the entire day one time when I was locked at home.
Well, that's what we did too, so it's, kind of going around. But anyway, with I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, it has a lot of, really, there's some pretty ridiculous, well, not too ridiculous, but kind of ridiculous scenes of Sakura being, kind of flippant about things. It leads to some comedy, it leads to some drama. I won't even spoil what exactly happens to, they announce it in the first line of the film. Sakura, the main girl, ends up dying, but not for the reason that you might expect. It's not a usual...
It's not the pancreas that kills her.
Yeah, it's very... I will say, I did enjoy that, or not enjoy, I did...
It was an interesting twist.
I thought I appreciated the twist, because usually something like this ends very brutally in a hospital, like Your Lie in April is there's a lot of, and it doesn't end like that at all, and it actually speaks to kind of what Sakura has been trying to teach Haruki, is that life is fleeting, that life can just end at any time, and I thought it was a good subversion for that. But because Haruki is such a shut-in and Sakura is such a social butterfly, rumors start to spread at the school about what's going on between them.
What are you doing to her?
Yeah, Sakura's best friend gets involved, which there's that.
Yeah, Kyoko's kind of a bitch.
Kyoko is kind of a bitch. The only time I really felt bad for her was to find out that your best friend was dying the whole time, and
she never told you.
You never told you. I mean, I felt sympathy for her there, and I kind of got her more there. But throughout it, it's like she's kind of the annoying sort of best friend.
Hey, what are you doing to her? You better not lay a finger on her. I fucking hate you already.
Yeah, for no reason really. But I will say, there is this one blonde guy who
his only dialogue option is hey, you want a piece of gum?
Yeah, and like when he accepts the gun, it's like, oh, that was a real victory for Haruki. You know, coming out of his social shell. And in the post credit scene, it's implied that he has a girlfriend, and it's like, oh boy, he really picked an interesting one there. But speaking of dialogue options, this film has some familiar voices in it.
Yeah. The main guy, Haruki, is voiced by Robbie Damon, who is Steven's favorite voice actor now because he voices his best boy, Akechi.
Well, not my favorite voice actor per se, because Crispin Freeman still has that number on slot on fucking grip.
Yeah, but he is your best boy, Akechi.
Yes, he is Akechi.
Which, did you catch any lines of his that sounded like Akechi?
I think there was one.
Oh yeah, it's like a lot of the scenes are like the girl mentions like, oh yeah, I'm dying, you know.
Oh,
like, oh yeah, good luck.
Yeah, those kinds of. Are you still talking to me? Those kinds of lines.
Yeah.
And the other is one of my, like, how Steven feels about Crispin Freeman. I feel the same way. But an actress.
Oh yeah, Sakura's voice actress.
An actress that I feel the same way about Crispin Freeman is Erica Harlacher. Plays Sakura, who also plays Violet Evergarden in the Violet Evergarden series, but she also plays
Ann from Persona 5.
Yeah, Ann from Persona 5. So we had kind of and Haru was in the movie as well.
Oh yeah, I saw her because even Wade brought over because his DVD came with a little booklet that
I love promotional material.
A lot of the interviews with the cast and stuff. And
yeah, and it's
in the additional voices, Zanthi Hyun's part of it.
Additional. Oh, okay.
Like the classmates section.
Oh, what's her name?
Zanthi Hyun.
Oh, she's at the very bottom. Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, she's the voice of Haru from Persona 5.
Yeah, and both Damon, I'm sorry, Robbie Damon and Erica Harlacher give amazing dub performances.
Yeah.
And the direction was done by none other than Erica Mendez, who's
voices Nico in Love Live, and I think how I found out about her was Ryuko from Kill la Kill.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff too, but she also does direct, which is kind of not an unusual career path. Like kind of like guys like older heads like
Patrick Stites,
right? Like Jay Hickman, John Swayze, Greg Ayers. They do a lot of directing now, but they still voice act. So it's but in
I'm not sure if Patrick Stites actually has done ADR, but I think it was that one panel I saw where him and Erica Mendez were there, and like somebody mentioned ADR. So I don't know if he's done it or something, but
okay,
I don't know why I thought of his name.
No, I mean, he may well have, because it seems like a lot of these guys end up taking crew roles as well. Yeah. But yeah, in this film is fantastic. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. This is one of the times where I shot from the hip and hit the bullseye, I feel, because everything about it is just fantastic. And real quick, before we give our ratings, I want to see who voiced Kyoko. Oh, Kira Buckland.
I love her.
Yeah. She's been in a lot of great stuff too.
Oh yeah, she's in the Love Live dub. I think she's Umi.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good for her.
And I know she's also in the JoJo dub, because her big dream for becoming a voice actress was to voice Jolene if JoJo Stone Ocean ever got an anime, and yep.
She's Jolene?
Yep.
Okay. I gotta take a step back a little bit.
And apparently she started the first anime convention in Alaska, because she went to college in Alaska, and basically a UI-Con in Alaska. She did a college anime club there, and...
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
so proud of her.
Yeah. Great. I mean, great cast, great crew. Can't say enough good things about it. But before we give our ratings, did you guys tear up any during the film?
Yes.
Where?
I think it's when she got what's his face? Hiroki?
Haruki.
Haruki when he just lost it.
Okay. Yeah, same here.
And I can't say I really teared up just because from a title, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, you kind of know what's coming. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, still hurted, but yeah, I didn't really tear up.
Can I say that when I found out that they were going to an organ, like, first of all, the title, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and then when they went to the organ meat grill place, I immediately thought of that King of the Hill episode where Bobby gets addicted to eating organ meat and ends up developing gout. Does anyone remember that episode where he ends up, where he wants to go to the dance with Connie, but he's on one of those little rascal scooters? I even sent that. I even sent a screenshot from that and put it in a group chat that I'm in. I was like, "Hey guys, it's I Want to Eat Your Pancreas." It's just Bobby Hill chewing on a liver sandwich with a pickle. So yeah, first of all I had to say that because the more I think about this movie, the more that I want to cry. But as for ranking, I know it's kind of weird to pimp your own club pick that much, but I give it an S tier. It's definitely one of my. It's probably going to be in like my best of watched in 2025.
And I'd give it a high A tier.
I'd probably say low S, high A.
Okay. Now because I showed these guys such a heartbreaking experience, I was like, I'm not
heartbreaking movie at like 3 p.m.
Yeah. I was like, look, I'm not going to leave you guys hanging like that. I'm going to find something that's going to be better. You have my word on that. And what did I show them?
One of the Lupin the Third movies you hadn't opened up yet.
Right. And that movie was Lupin the Third, Angel Tactics from 2005.
Which, after I was looking up information about this, which took me to the Lupin wiki, which in the trivia section it said this is the last Lupin movie to ever come out on VHS.
Which makes sense because it came out in 2005.
Which is when VHS was kind of getting phased out anyway.
Yeah, and you know what the last movie in America that was ever released on VHS was?
What?
David Cronenberg's History of Violence.
Ooh.
With Ed Harris and Viggo Mortensen. Great movie. I don't, unfortunately, have the VHS copy, though you'd imagine I might. But...
I don't know why I was expecting something like really bizarre, like Mac and Me or something.
Oh.
No, it was Marley and Me, because I really wanted to make you cry because the VHS was going away.
VHS was being sent up to the farm upstate.
Had to say that when I had a drink in my mouth.
I remember my grandma taking me to go see Marley and Me in theaters when I was a little kid.
Oh, it's a cute pup. Oh, I remember a little bit of a tangent. I guess.
Don't worry, Marley's chewing on organ meat right now.
Brutal.
Thank you. Good night.
I remember seeing promotional material for Marley and Me, and it was just all about the happy dog stuff. And then you go take your kids to see the movie because you think it's a happy dog movie, and then you get double slapped with that ending.
Oh,
I remember it also being a weirdly sexual movie too.
Is that the one with Owen Wilson?
Yep.
And who was that other chick?
I don't know, but they were always having sex, or at least implied sex.
It's like more they're humping, like, dogs maybe.
It's like I remember even as a kid just being in that theater, like. This should have been a PG-13 movie.
Shit, you showed one scene like that. I think it automatically becomes an
Jennifer
R.
Aniston.
Okay, I get it.
Oh, God.
But, so yeah, we were watching, how did we get on the tangent of Marley and Me?
VHS.
VHS. So yeah, Lupin the Third, Angel Tactics was the last Lupin property to be released on VHS. And that being said, I guess because it was my pick, I'll sort of lay out what the plot was. So basically, Lupin, Jingen, and Goemon with the help of Fujiko, who's kind of running interference, they raid Area 51. Yes, that's right, Reddit. They got into Area... They just stormed the gates. No, they snuck in as scientists, and they steal this this glowing orb called Original Metal.
Yes.
And they sneak out with it on an actual UFO.
But they don't sneak out, they're being chased.
Yeah, they're being chased, but they crash this UFO with the Original Metal inside of it. And then they get picked up by Fujiko. And then it turns out the reason that they were hired, because they were promised a huge stash of cash if they successfully stole the Original Metal, was they were hired by a terrorist organization called the Bloody Angels.
Which is funny, because when you see the Bloody Angels later, like their whole thing, they're an anti-military, they're an anti-America terrorist organization, but their uniform is basically the Playboy Bunny outfit minus the ears and face masks.
Yeah.
And heels.
Right. They're
Which,
very...
I mean, that's kind of part of the Playboy Bunny outfit.
They're very tactically aware, except for the fact that they look like...
They have their whole yams out.
Yeah. But...
Getting caked up on a Tuesday morning.
Holding guns, my dude. Anyway, so they then have to... They have to basically keep Original Metal away from both this terrorist group called the Bloody Angels, as well as Zenigata, who has been essentially deputized by the United States government to chase down Lupin the Third.
Lupin, I mean, Zenigata's at the Pentagon. He has a whole sequence where he's at the Pentagon, and then the director of the CIA tells him, yeah, you can have your own private militia for this.
Yeah, and they really outfit him with this whole group. But then when they get the Original Metal, basically Lupin, Fujiko, Jingen, and Goemon come together and say, okay, what the fuck is this thing that we actually have?
Oh yeah, Goemon's whole existential crisis, where
he tries to cut it.
Lupin wants to turn the Original Metal into a ring, and it says, hey Goemon, can you cut this?
Yeah.
So Goemon tries to cut it, finds out his sword that can cut metal can't cut the Original Metal.
Yeah.
So Goemon just has a whole existential crisis where he leaves the group to go do training.
Yeah, and
because his sword got chipped.
Which does become an important plot point later on. But basically, the plot involves Lupin and Jingen find out that they need the help of Fujiko in order to basically fix all of this. So they fly to Fujiko's she has this whole like hideaway on an island, which is implied to be in the Caribbean, based on just like what's there.
Either Caribbean or one of the islands off of Mexico.
Yeah, one of those.
Because those looked like Incan or Mayan type ruins.
No, they were Mayan, but I figured they'd be in the Gulf of Mexico or like.
Hey, it's the Gulf of America now.
No, it's the Gulf of Buckies. Get it right.
The Gulf of Cum. Cuba, United States, Mexico. What did you think? I bet.
No, it's Gulfy McGulfing.
But anyway.
Anyway, so they fly there, and then one of the I almost said guilty angels. One of the Bloody Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, basically. Her name is Sophia. Ends up killing the pilot, getting on board the plane, and flying them there. But they double cross her and basically get her kicked off the plane. Kicked off. They literally kick her out of the plane.
No, she kicks herself out the plane.
And then they have to ditch. And then they...
Yeah, they have to ditch by being blown up by a fucking F-16.
Yeah, who literally blast them out of the sky. But anyway, most of the plot of the film is on this island, and that's when it really kicks into high gear as being a really good Lupin the Third story, because it actually has some pretty good emotional depth to it, and it actually has some good character stakes, and it's actually quite violent for a Lupin the Third.
Yeah, Zenigata fucking kills people.
Yeah, Zenigata had probably one of the best kills in the movie, because...
No, I think it was Jingen.
When
he got inside that...
Oh yeah, just chopping down a whole line of women.
No, I was saying when he got inside that wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was goes into a shack full of wheat flour.
Yeah, and
the girl inside there just starts shooting up the place once he escapes, and just doesn't know that shooting at flour will cause explosions.
Well, fine powders can just explode on
Well,
their
yeah.
own.
I mean, how often? Because all these girls were originally, well, most of these girls were originally American anyway.
Yeah.
How many? Do we know of any place that actually has that type of wheat anywhere? No.
I mean, that's one of the things they always tell you to not pour flour on a grease fire, because that'll just make the explosion even worse.
Yeah, because for some reason, and I don't understand it myself, but I know that fine powders are very flammable.
I know there's one powder you could put on a grease fire, but I forget.
Yeah, gunpowder.
May or may not be baking soda, but
let's not cause more cooking disasters.
No, we have Jack and
Kay's cooking.
Jack, Kay, and Cobra, to think of that one.
Yeah.
Sushi burger, what the fuck is that?
But yeah, before I start crying, as if talking about I want to eat your pancreas didn't do that enough. But so what happens is Zenigata ends up catching up with Lupin after Zenigata's partner shoots one of the members of the Bloody Angels, who actually turns out to be
the leader.
No, not her. The blonde one that Lupin was talking to,
Sophia.
Yeah.
She just turned out she was there for revenge, really.
Yeah, revenge. And then they have a good conversation, and then she ends up dying, which is construed as an accident at first, but then it turns out that Emily, who's like the partner to Zenigata throughout the film, there's a big whole twist where she is actually the leader of the Guilty Angels, or the Bloody Angels, excuse me.
No, it's Guilty Kiss.
Guilty Kiss.
Guilty Kiss.
We will bring up the Love Life brain whenever we can.
Oh, yes. But she turns out to be the leader, and she starts hunting down Lupin, Jingen, and Zenigata, and it leads to a whole battle on the island that is really, really fantastic. I gotta say, I really love this one. This is one of the better Lupin the Third films that I've seen.
I will say that Lupin goes from general shenanigans, doing the thing where you shoot the gun, but it's just confetti that comes out, to bullet with a name on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because he just starts mowing down the terrorist group left and right with Zenigata.
Right. And Goemon has a really good
sword
fight, and then a good reunites with the group and has a really good fight there as well. And then Emily gets her comeuppance in like a pretty fantastic.
Yeah, because Lupin's still extremely angry.
Yeah, and gives her an out. Gave her an out.
I'm not going to shoot you if you just leave right now. Then he turns his back and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to kill you."
And then immediately turns around and just bap, bap, bap.
I told you if you leave right now, I wouldn't shoot you.
Yeah, and he wanted to shoot her the whole time, but there he claimed self-defense. But anyway, with this Lupin movie, I loved it. Like, it was so good.
It's peak.
It's, like, in terms of Lupin materials, this is like the best this is kind of like one of the best that you can get with that.
And there was no English dub for this one, probably for the reasons of excessive gore.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun, which was the Americans, this one was not actually that bad. The worst gore of it was in the first, 5 minutes of it when they're cutting people in half.
Yeah.
Pretending to be the Lupin gang.
Yeah, they aren't even the real Lupin gang. But the thing is, it doesn't even really matter, because the real Lupin gang does commit some pretty decent violence, not gonna lie, but...
So we're Goemon's kill, which, of course, Goemon gets paired with the Japanese girl.
Yeah.
It's gotta pair Goemon with the Asian girl. But...
Cuts her sword in half, and the sword just falls.
Then she stabs herself with her own sword.
No, it fell in her, and then she pushes it through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough one. But, I haven't really gotten to hear your guys' thought because we literally just watched the movie like 3 hours ago. But what did you guys think before we pass final rankings on it?
And that's probably my favorite of the straight to TV DVD Lupin movies.
Yeah.
I guess this was one of the TV special movies, not one of the theatrical movies.
Yeah, it's not like Lupin the Third, the First, or it's not
Castle Cagliostro.
Castle
Those like the two theatrical movies, but yeah, out of TV movies, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I would have to say this is probably one of my favorites because they probably just gave them full reign to do what they wanted with it.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it too when I was on the wiki that like part of the writing on this was done by Monkey Punch's son.
Might have been able to give.
At least he was part of the staff for it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say probably the same thing you were. Like he probably knew the source. He probably knew what his dad was probably thinking for most of it anyway.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Monkey Punch. From what I understand, he was quite involved with the Lupin franchise throughout
all
its
the
run.
way up until halfway through production of the first.
Because he died in like 2019.
Yeah, he died in 2017, 19.
Around the time Lupin the Third, the first.
Yeah, the movie came out.
I think it was dedicated
in
his memory.
Yeah, the movie was dedicated because he died probably before that movie came out.
Yeah, I mean, but he was such a creative force in the Lupin, and I think he knew what he wanted with like this franchise. And I like it's not always I mean, it can still be grounded and serious, but also have a lot of like goofiness and just. It doesn't have to be not fun for it to have some good moments.
My favorite Lupin movies are when they can actually pack the more serious tones into it while still being a little goofy.
Yeah, I would say the best one of those
still be a little funny
is like
swallowing a sponge.
Yeah, yeah, right. I would say my favorite of those movies would probably be Castle Cagliostro, where they show like Lupin getting wounded. At the same time, they're showing like Goemon just, sawing cars in half, that kind of stuff. But
okay, solid opinion of mine. I was thinking about it on the drive back. I do think I like this one a little better than Cagliostro.
Really? Oh wow! So, what ranking would you give it?
Like the both movies are still ass. I just give this one just a little higher one, just because. I think Red Jacket Lupin really does bring the more serious aspects out a bit better than Green Jacket does. Because Green Jacket was really just made to be the goofy one.
Okay, fair enough.
I think on my 2024 list I had Farewell to Nostradamus and Secret of Twilight Gemini as like my top picks for 2024, but...
Oh, from Lupin?
Yeah, well, of the straight to TV.
Okay,
like
fair
not
enough.
The theatrical ones, but...
Sure.
Because, for me, I don't think there's any topping the Lupin the Third, the First, and Castle Cagliostro. Those, but yeah, definitely say Angel Tactics is definitely on par with Farewell to Nostradamus.
Okay. So what ranking would you give it?
Say high A tier, maybe a low S tier.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'd give it a low S tier. I thought it was. Like Steven said, I think that the more influence that Monkey Punch, that kind of group has on this property, the better. I thought that the serious moments really worked, but they didn't negate like kind of the humor, because there's a lot of good humor in this film. So yeah, I'd give it an S tier. I'd go give it a watch as soon as you get definitely best of the TV film productions. And hey, it's better than the Tower of the Gold of Babylon or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a difference between something that was actually put out with thought and time and then thing that was put together with a lot of
the shoestring of other plots.
Yeah, like 4 different scripts that would have been good Lupin films on their own, but
kind of difference between the monster and Frankenstein itself. But that's a whole different topic we don't need to go into right now.
But yeah, and that was our anime roundup, and I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is finally one that's going to be under 3 hours.
Yeah,
because we're about 5 minutes inside of 2. So
Oh, are we under 2 hours?
Just crossing the we are 2 hours 5 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But some of that might be cropped out from our
Yeah, maybe,
sound check.
Yeah, maybe about 30 seconds we'll cut. Yeah,
But
so,
why don't we quit while we're ahead?
I just want to do. I'm just gonna recap our little announcement section again, just at the end. Just we did at the beginning. Let's do it at the end.
Sure, that's fine.
Again, but I will have this out this month. I swear to Christ. I mean, I'm not like I'm doing anything else. Not like I have a job to go to, but I will get this out as soon as I possibly can. Again, we are follow us on Redbubble, I guess. Just so you guys, those who follow us on Redbubble will probably end up getting a deal. I'll have to figure that out. When I do, we figure that out. Follow us. Make sure to click the link tree in the description because we all love the description link tree. Please feed the tree.
The giving tree.
It is the giving tree. I also did not mention that our email is also in the link tree. It's at the bottom. I think it's the envelope looking shit at the bottom. So that way you guys can go ahead and email us for Waifu Wars recommendations, con stories should you want to, and anything else you guys think that we might find interesting, like anime recommendations. We will take anime recommendations, please. However, I will stop you guys. If you guys say Hero Aka, I will be disappointed because I'm not showing 7 seasons to these guys, no matter how short or long these seasons tend to be.
I know my anime backlog is going to be clogged for a while due to all the Blu-rays I have that I haven't even opened up yet.
After Fairy Tail, I'm showing these guys Blue Exorcist. Not the new stuff yet, but the old one and the Kyoto Saga. And that's like 3 weeks total. So
look, y'all know me. If you got something that's like grimdark or will tear out your heart or is low-key kind of goofy, come holla. Otherwise,
I mean, I know
yourself.
we're definitely going to be watching City, the animation, as soon as it drops in summer 2025.
If you got City, the animation, come holla.
Oh, and Grand Blue Season 2, whenever that comes out.
Oh, hell yeah. Can't wait for that.
I know they just did another announcing new characters that are going to be part of that, and they have Yoshino Aoyama join the cast, who's the Seiyuu of Bochi.
Yay!
We will also be watching, what is it? Fucking Soror Utility when that comes out, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as soon as I find out the final episode of that is dropped, that's going to override whatever pick I have up next. Like, yeah, that's going to be my next one.
Yep, and we'll hopefully golf season will be open back up again.
I don't think anything's going to be open until March, because that's when Rebring opens up.
Sure.
So I think that's probably going to be our best bet there.
No, I know. I'm just saying that, like, based on anime airing schedule.
And also, please, dear God, end this hiring freeze so I can actually get a professional job instead of working at ISU.
Yeah. Anyway, I think...
anything else? We'll have that link tree. We should get Teespring up by mid-March. And maybe if we get the funds from the from Teespring will go towards commissioning the artists. Which I did not mention this in the first time we did this, but we do have our artists on our link tree. So if you want to go commission the 3 artists that we plan to be in close contact with, go ahead and we gave their artist Instagrams there because they do prefer Instagram.
I think we have at It's Kyra, at Strawberry Straight Edge, and at Pate Sponges.
Yes.
All 3 are great.
All 3 are great, and we will get the one from Paint. We will get the one from Paint Sponges soon because
I'm definitely planning to.
We need funds.
I'm planning to commission her for my next idea because she is one of my best friends since high school. So.
But Other than that, and then once we get those 5 pieces on, we will get the Redbubble will be up and active, and then you can just buy our merch, I guess. But Teespring should be open up in March. These are just gonna be regular run of the mill prices. Hopefully, we'll probably have like we'll probably have a year open sale of like Primo, maybe like 20% off for the first year of things buying for the first why not. And then you may see merch on our bottom part of the description because we are able to share the Teespring stuff via YouTube. So you might see our merch in the bottom scroll from now on. So that'll be fantastic.
Woo!
But other than that, merch. So yeah, merch soon, since we are now in like what season?
I think this would be like season 4.
Season 4.
Okay, season 4. Also, this being season 4, we are moving to other. We are not moving from YouTube, but we are moving to other platforms.
Woo!
I forgot to mention that in the first half. We will try to do Spotify and Apple, because I
Try
guess
and get more revenue streams.
yeah, try to get more revenue streams because your boy needs it. But other than that, yeah, we should be on Apple. We should be on Spotify. I'm not. If people want to recommend, if people want to also email the offthebalcony21.gmail.com to tell us about what other podcast sites are popular. No, I will not take Dailymotion. No, I will not take Vimeo. I'm not creating accounts for those because those cost money.
Oh yeah. Also, as soon as we're able to invite guests onto the podcast, we'll definitely invite some people from off the
Yes, we'll invite people from off the balcony. The three of us who are already here as guests.
Invite some people from the Love Life server we're in, because we definitely have some people that want to join the group.
I would love that, but
yeah.
do we want to
Mind
say?
crime, I hear ya.
Do you want to say our final words before we cut off?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Car stuff I'll get by Venmo should still. Well, the Venmo link will be the only separate link left, just for people who want to support us in that direction until we get our merch store up, which is just at SKREZO for you guys who want to support me getting a new laptop that's not like gonna be nearly 8 years old. Yeah, that's how old my laptop is.
Okay.
We're wrapping this podcast up before 9:30 p.m.
Yeah. How
And
about
this is so early.
Yeah. So I just wanted to.
This proves we're getting old.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say peace and love to everyone out on the internet. Thank you for indulging us in our interests in anime, pop culture, movies, conventions, all that stuff. You guys have been fantastic.
Why you British?
I was thinking of that scene from the Oasis concert video where Liam starts popping off and it's just Noel.
Liam goes on a drunken tirade and
Noel
like,
can only say peace and love to everyone in the stadium. Goes full Ringo. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. You guys have been fantastic. I'll let these guys say their final words and then we'll end. So this will be the last time that you hear me. Until our next episode where we come at you with a lot of convention stories. Hopefully it's gonna be a great time. You all know that. So take care.
Ochi. Bye-bye.
Alright everyone, have a good time and survive 2025, please.
Stay frosty.